Okay, so it's been more than 24 hours and we're gonna spin our banana and ice cream, but let's take a look at it and let's talk about a few things that you may have to do before you spin it. And this is case by case really. So if we take the lid off, and you can kind of see here that it's not level, right? We leveled everything off, but somehow it is not level. That's because sometimes when it freezes from the outside in, and that pushes that middle out. Okay, you can kind of see it's not huge, but it's enough. This blade is going to be coming straight down, and if it hits something, it could turn. And what that'll do is it'll scrape up your cups. It's really something we want to avoid. Okay, so when we're putting the blade in, we're going to move this. So it says paddle latch. And it doesn't look like anything happens on this side, but if you look on this side, let's see how these guys come in and out? So what happens is you pull it all the way over, and this is also good to do while you're cleaning. Then you drop this in here, and then you let it go. Now I want you to notice it doesn't come all the way over to the other side. It just pushes just enough to get it in, and there will be some back and forth like here, but that's about it. It's not going to come out. It's in there really solid. It just has a little bit of play. So the super secret easy way to do this is just level it off using a spoon. If your mixture is super thick, you might need to let this thaw for 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just scraping it back and forth, and it's going to look like granita. And what granita is ice, basically. And then I'm just going to smooth that extra around and make it pretty much level. It does not need to be like I've used a level and measured it. It just needs to be to the eye level-ish, right? We just don't want to have that up there. If this wouldn't scrape at all, I would just leave it out for a little bit. Also, there are a couple of other things. So we could also run this under some hot water, because sometimes there's an ice layer that goes all the way around, because this blade, you can see here that there's just a tiny bit for the blade to spin, right? And so we don't want cutting in there, so there's going to be this tiny little layer. If you leave it out about 5 to 10 minutes, that can avoid having that layer of ice. You could run it under some warm water, or if like today, I'm not going to eat all of it. So what I do is I scoop out of the middle, and then I scrape down the sides and level it off again. So that's another way you can do it too. So many ways to do everything. So remember, we've got these little things on the bottom. This is our outer container, and they match in. So if it's not matched, it's not going to go in. What that does is it holds it while everything's spinning. So I want to make sure to get this where that fits. So if you're trying to put this lid on and it's not fitting, check that first, right? So I'm going to turn this over. This says align center. And see how that's on there? And then we're going to go this way. To unlatch it, we're going to click this button and pull it. So that's how that works. So it's super easy.